Do I have something stuck in my hair? Oh, look at all those wrinkles. Yay. Okay. Please note if I have something stuck in my hair, I'm aware of it. But you like me anyway, right? You like me? You really, really like me? There we go. So, good afternoon. Yeah, it is technically afternoon because my phone just hit good 12:01. German Maid, nice to see you. Mosey, Laura Gibbon-Bow, Debbie, and Blue Eyed Boss, and Sylvia, Kayla Bear, Carla Jane. Carla Jane, you are beating yourself up, hun. I'm going to beat yourself up for beating yourself. I hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're feeling okay. All right. Yes, a rare late Tuesday. Yes, usually Tuesdays, not that I have a routine. My routine is to not have a routine, if you know what I mean. Jelly bean. Typically, I have a little morning routine on Tuesdays. However, today it was different because I had a doctor's appointment. All went well, very psyched. Love my doctor. She's awesome. But because of that, I scheduled a noontime TikTok live. Now, Gen X, I love your name. Very nice. I love it. Setting your intention. I love this. Laura Gibbon Voorhees is saying, going to label stuff for the gem shop while we visit. Yes, we're visiting. Hey, friend, shall we hang out and have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea? I love it. There we go. Penny, I'm keeping you company, both as a Honda owner and keeping you in the service waiting area. So I will definitely keep you company. Me, nice to see you. Ellen, right? Am I picking up what you're putting down? So, very cool. And yeah, Carla, Honey Bunch, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself, miss. Okay? So, here I am. Yay, Ellen. I just, I learned these. I'm a slow learner, but I am a learner. So, and I see Kimmy and Hydra, and you've got the teeth of the Hydra upon you. Ooh, I got the chapstick. And Shirley. So here we are. Okay. All right, cool. All right, Carla. Yep. Go do errands, back to the kitchen. Got your days mixed up. I will see you tomorrow. Okay? I will see you tomorrow. Oceanana, nice to see you. No, nice to see you. How's your kitchen, Oceanana? I bet it's better than it was yesterday. It may not be done. You may not be there yet. But from yesterday till today, I bet your kitchen is looking and feeling a wee bit better. Okay? Hello, Shirley. Now, Carla, I'll see you tomorrow. I look forward to us coaching. You feel even better tomorrow. And Janice is saying, today I do a quick clean of my living room. Half bath and wood floors. Well, good on you. Excellent. Anybody else want to state their intention for what they're going to do either today or during the time we do our TikTok live? Declaring what you're going to do kind of creates a little bit of a contract. I said I was going to do it. Sometimes we say it to ourselves, and sometimes there's more power to it when we just share it with somebody else. I'm going to do this. I'm promising out loud I'm going to do this. So feel free to do that in the comments. Okay? There we go. I love it. Oceanana, it's a wee bit better. I will take that wee bit better. You will take that wee bit better. That's the only way that's the only way we get anything done is a wee bit at a time. So yay for you. All right? I may not look like a cheerleader, but I get some invisible pom-poms here. All right? Now, I love this. Therapy Gal Sue is saying, I'm decluttering my desktop that grew over the past couple of days while I had a cold. I know that feeling myself because when you're not feeling well, the Kleenexes pile up. When you're feeling a little bit better, you will do a little bit better, and then we lather, rinse, and repeat. Now, Penny is saying, I'm going to reclaim my one perfect room in my house. Now, interesting to mention that. So, in case we haven't met before, I show up at random times on TikTok. It's not so random. It's actually scheduled. And if you're on the mailing list, you know where to look. And if you don't know where to look, go back to, I'm trying to be all secret code, like Opal O. Go back to that welcome email that you got when you signed up for my mailing list. I'm going to send out an email tonight, I will remind you where to go to look for the schedule if you don't know where it is, okay? But my TikTok lives are scheduled. But hey, new people, my name's Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Why Destination Decluttered? Because I like road trips. I like travel. I'm booking some travel as we speak, and it's so much fun. Now, Caleb Bear is saying, I'm at work, so I'll be working, but I'm alone in the office and will listen along. Yeah. Embrace those alone times in the office, okay? Kristen Dorsey is decluttering her bedroom today. Love it. Love it. Janice says, secondly, we got a secondly. I will be starting to move containers that are filled with my mom's treasures. Okay. You could send me a before photo if you like so. Hey, ID Princess, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. And Susie Q. And here we go. Barbara is picking up in my very messy, cluttered bedroom while I listen. Awesome. Look at what is happening here. You are declaring your intention. You are staking a claim. This is what I plan on doing. And I have 100% pure, unadulterated belief in you that you can do what you have said you're going to do. Okay? There we go. Victoria is Queen Victoria. I'll just be all fancy. Tidying up my hiking stuff. Yeah. I know you can do it. I would never show up telling you to, encouraging you to do something you can't do. But you can do this. I know you can. Now, maybe I'm lazy in the fact that I chose to be a decluttering coach because I know everybody can do this. I'm not a heart surgeon coach. I'm not a ice skating coach. Those things are a little bit more difficult, but all of this can be taught. So do not fear. There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. You know how to do a lot of this, more than your brain might be offering. So do what you know how to do. Do what you know how to do. And what you don't know how to do, I'm here for you, okay? ID Princess, you know what? So kind of X, everybody's always still, you're always part of the fam. In the club, we all fam. I miss our sessions. Beth is great to work with. She's saying, for anyone considering coaching, do it. So that's not me. That is ID Princess from Idaho. So I will also offer this, ID Princess. I know people's situations change all the time, but I always leave the door open. Even when the heat's on, I will leave the door open for clients to return to coaching. There's always, it's never, the door is never closed. It's always open. So if you would like to continue, if you want to get back in the habit again, all you need to do is email me and we'll make it happen, okay? There we go. Now Ravencrow says, I can't throw out my skeletons. I have limits. Nobody's asking you to throw away your things. Here's the beauty of decluttering. Decluttering is decision making. Decluttering is decision making. Deciding what you want and what you don't. And that is 100% up to you. Look at me, I'm like, manja. I will put my hands on my cup right here so I don't talk like that, okay? Okay, Moonchild. Moonchild is saying, how do you get your elderly parents to get rid of so much stuff? It's a constant problem. You may not like my answer, but it's what I have found to be true. Which is, you may not be able to get your elderly parents to get rid of their stuff. You may not be able to. Think about it from another perspective. What if somebody was trying to get you to get rid of your stuff and you just weren't ready? You didn't want to. You would put up a fight. So it really depends on your parents. Now, this is something I want to offer to you, and many of us who are of the Gen X generation, where we are the double stuff and the Oreo cookie people. We've got one cookie above us that's the old people. We've got another cookie below us that's the little kids who are now in their freaking 20s and 30s. And we are in the middle here. So, Moonchild, I want you to think about this. Even if your parents struggle till the end of their death saying, I'm not going to let go of this stuff, you, my dear, you start making a plan for yourself now for what you want to do with their stuff when they're gone. Do not wait till they're gone and then start thinking about it. You know, this is going to sound harsh, but it's true. You know they're going to be gone at some point. Right now, start to decide how you're going to declutter your parents' home when they're gone. And also, while they're still here, offer to help them with what they're struggling with, clutter-wise and otherwise, with love, but no expectation, no judgment, no pushing, not a single luxury, okay? Ask them if they need help. You can encourage them if you want, but I can't force anybody to coach with me. We can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. If they want to do it, they might be open to it, but still it's a journey, okay? Now, Penny is saying deciding can be difficult. Yes, it can, but I will share this with you. The more practice you get making decisions, the stronger your decision-making muscle gets and the easier it gets. Let me repeat that. The more decisions you make, the easier it gets. The less stressed out you get about making a decision. And so it becomes easier to make a decision with practice. The wonderful thing about decluttering is it a great way to build not only your physical muscles, because you'll be moving stuff and all that, but building your decision-making muscle, okay? And it makes it easier, okay? There we go. Yeah. Do what feels right to you. Do what feels right to you. Keep what you want to keep. Donate what you want to donate. Throw away what you want to throw away. And then see how it feels. All right, this feels better than it did before. Yeah. And then live with it for a while. Get your nervous system used to that level of clutter. Maybe only 10% different, but 10% different is 10% different. Hang out with it for a while and then be like, okay, this feels good. Do I like it like this, or do I want to declutter more? Do I still feel like it's too much? All right, let me do another pass. Let me do another, go round. Okay? Do what feels right to you. Now. Okay. Yeah. And Carla knows because she's digging out her mom's house. Her mom is gone. She says, me nagging them was hurting us more. I just had to take the task when they were gone. Yeah. I know my mother. I am helping my aged mother with her clutter. She's 83 years old. Only 3 years ago. She's been on the planet for 80 years, and I've been around with her a lot of those. And for a good 30 of those years, if not more, I have offered my help to her. Hey, I'd like to help you declutter the house. She and Dad would say yes, and we'd do it, and it would go back. And then they'd say no, and it would stay. It was only in the last 3 years that she has allowed me to help. But still, when I help her, I'm only able to help her up to her comfort zone. When it pushes too far, she shuts down. So I am helping her, and I am already making a plan for that house when she's gone. Okay? So I offer that as a plan for you. Okay? Yeah. Janice says, I'm a boomer. Mom's stuff has taken over my bedroom. I sleep on a recliner for 2 years. Okay. Notice the older generations may not have any interest in the introspection and decision-making it takes to make a decision about stuff. Okay? So, yeah, take back your room, Janice. Yep, take back your room. This is all about reclaiming your power to create the life you want. But that sounds so life coachy. Even I'm like, oh, like some of the life coachy words irritate the life out of me because I'm pretty snarky on the outside and inside. So that's why I talk about it like a road trip, okay? But notice what you want. Decluttering helps you decide what you want, So I hope that helps, okay? I love it. Anna says, after many honest conversations with my mom, she has started decluttering willingly, and we both feel great. Yeah, an honest conversation Sometimes that's hard to have with people, but it's worth trying. You know your situation with the other people in your life best. And one of the ones you probably know the least of is the relationship with you. Uh-oh, she's going to break out into song. The most important person in the whole wide world is you, and you hardly even know you. The most important person in the whole wide world is you. Come on, we'll show you. It's about the things you feel and do, because you're the most important person in the world to you. I don't know, anybody watch TV in the 70s? It was one of my many talents, is watching a lot of TV in the 70s, okay? And the 80s. Not so much in the 90s and beyond, but man, do I know what I'm singing about, huh? So, get to know yourself by deciding what you want and deciding what you don't want, okay? Christina, thank you for the little heart. I love it. It's like I'm singing for pennies here. So cute. Hey, Robin, nice to see you. Joycey, just took 2 coffee machines to the local thrift. I was so happy to finally give them away. I love hearing stuff like this because you know what I love hearing is somebody removed an item from their home and they are feeling good because of it. That's like the positive, that's like the good feeling. You're doing it, it feels good. You know? Yeah. Oceanana's giving you a little clappy clapperson. Jelly Bee, excuse me, I just saw this and let me unmute it so everybody else can see. What about, oops, sorry, everything. Yes, thank you, Janice, for handing me the mic. I take it anyway. Yeah. Hey, Christina Glendale, you heard me singing. Awesome, good to see you. Okay, yeah. And yeah, they have to want to declutter. Yep, such a good idea to make a plan. Oh my God, you guys, I am a plan maker. And you know what I do? I get a lot of shit done. And I'm just talking not about crappy stuff. I'm talking about good stuff. Travel plans, party plans, you know, restaurant plans, which reminds me, where's my pen? There we go. Oh, book hotel for Paris, crossing that one off the list. Book ticks for museum. See, make a plan, make it happen. Okay? They have to want to declutter. And as Carla says, if you push something on them, they will resent it and make them hold on to it harder just because. You know? So notice that. But I'm sorry, there was something else. Jelly Bee was asking, what about cleaning products and paints in the basement? Tons of paint cans, mineral spirits, etc. This is where I am happy to not be the last word in this process, but the beginning. Depending upon what you have in your basement chemical-wise, paints, mineral spirits, all that, my best advice to you is, because I coach, so I live in Eastern Pennsylvania. I coach people all over the country, every time zone, every quadrant. Each state and municipality and borough and county and town and city has a different way of dealing with those things. So, Jelly Bee, I would go to our trusty friend Google over here and I would say, hey, Chester County, PA, how do I get rid of paint in cans? And I would see what comes up, okay? So look at how you can get rid of those things responsibly where you live, okay? I hope that helps, okay? There we go. There we go. Listen, look at us. Laura Gibbon Voorhees. Oh, this is a good idea. See, this is why we do this too, is I have my idea. We are like Stone Soup. Do you remember that story where it's like somebody, and I brought my carrot and you brought your potato and I had a little bit of broth and everybody adds something and then we all benefit. So I give you my idea to Google it kind of officially. This didn't occur to this brain here, but Laura just said, I put a bunch of cleaners together in a box and offered to my Stuff for Free Facebook community. Yeah, it never even occurred to me to say like, yeah, your Buy Nothing group on your Facebook or whatever, or like we have a group where we belong to, which is just people in the neighborhood. If it's something you're not using and you want to share it, offer it for free for people. They might want it. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to know these things, okay? You don't have to know the people you're giving things away to. Sometimes it's actually easier to not get hung up on knowing it, you know? Yeah, Gia says some trash services offer free paint pickup for old paint. Maybe check with your trash service, you know? There we go. Carla says, most of my paints were dry, but honestly, I got a huge heavy plastic bag and then all in the trash. Your mileage may vary depending on where you live. Yeah, Laura is saying, I am amazed at the things people will take for free. Yeah, because you know what? We all have a money brain. I am fascinated. For the last many years, one of my fascinations has been how many decisions we make in our lives based on money. I pointed this out to my husband 2 days ago. We were going to a store and I said, why don't we buy what we need here? And he's like, no, I think it's going to be cheaper over there. Now, luckily, he was already going over there. And then the funny thing is he found out that over there, it was as equally as the same. The price was the same. So notice the things that came into your house because they were on sale. Ooh, this is a good deal. Oh, I may not need that, but it's on sale, so I'm going to stock up. How much stuff that you resist buying because it's expensive. Oh, that's too expensive. I'm not getting that. We all have an internal calibration and gauge of like from free to expensive and somewhere in between. And do not deny that has helped you make decisions about stuff. Incorporate it in there. Yeah, it's fascinating. I love it because I catch myself doing that myself a lot. I used to, even if I didn't need anything, here's the interesting thing. Even if I didn't need anything, I'd go to the clearance rack. I didn't need it, but it's like, I don't know, if it's 50 cents, I might buy it. Would you have bought it if it was $50? If the price is one of the factors, if you change the price of it, does it change how you feel about the item? It does, because I know a lot of people struggle. Even yesterday, as I was signing off my TikTok live, somebody said, and I apologize if you're here, I forgot the name, GGX2000 maybe? I have a bit of a photographic brain sometimes. It might have been them saying, I am struggling to let go of clothes that I never wore that still have the tags on them. Okay? So, you guys, I just share this with you because I'm learning it myself. You know? Get curious about when money comes into the equation. This is honestly one of the reasons why when I am offering my one-on-one coaching services, I do not mention the price on my website. I might change that at some point, but I do that strategically so you're not saying no before you find out if it's even going to work for you. It's really interesting. Here's a funny thing too. Here, Wendy says, I threw out so much from my kitchen that was bought on sale, but it expired before I used it. Yes, so notice the money you threw away, but at the time you thought you were getting a good deal, like, ooh, this feels good to be thrifty and smart, and it was so cheap. But then in the reality of your life, you don't use that much of whatever it was, and then it goes bad before you use it up. I'm even that way. I feel like I eat mayonnaise a wicked lot, and yet inevitably there's a thing of mayonnaise, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going bad before we ever have a chance to eat it all. I guess it's good that I don't eat as much mayonnaise as I thought. Carla is saying, now here's a funny thing. Talk about money. Am I the only one that is irked to buy trash bags, knowing you are throwing it away? So here's what I want to offer to you. Carla, is I could choose to be irked by the thought of, I can't believe I have to spend money on this, and all I'm doing is throwing it out. What I could say to myself about the trash bags, it's, I would say, I am so glad that somebody invented something that I can throw my trash in so I don't have to touch that nasty stuff at all, and so I can grab a whole bunch of it and bring it down to the trash can without having to do it one at a time. You know? Now, I know there are ramifications about the planet with using trash bags. However, what I want to say about that is, and this is what I say, we are responsible for a lot of stuff, but in the grand scheme of things, there are countries, including ourselves, and factories, and businesses, and airplanes, and trucks that will pollute the planet in 1 minute more than we could ever do it ourselves in our entire lives. that does not absolve us from the responsibility of being mindful and being a good servant of the, or steward of the thing. But try not to get yourself hung up and keeping the trash in your house. Okay. Now, I don't think this is boring at all. So Mars is saying, so maybe this is an idea, talking about clutter and stuff in your home in the upcoming gift-giving season. Mars is saying, I know it's boring. It's not boring. But when asked for what gifts I like, I always suggest stuff I need, like spices. Okay? Yeah. Now, notice what you are asking for. When you ask for something, you may get it. So be careful what you're asking for. And if you don't want any more stuff, make that clear to the people in your life and say it with love and compassion. The greatest gift you could give to me is not stuff, is the opposite of stuff. Instead of your stuff, could you come over and help me declutter for Christmas? Could you help me by not giving me things? And could I have some of your time to help me with this? Could you pay for my decluttering coaching? You're going to be spending money on something anyways. Why not spend it on something I really want, but I'm afraid to spend money on myself? Okay? Thoughts. Money. So interesting. Char Heels says, and this is not uncommon, I can't get rid of something that I could make money on. Okay. But then I don't have the time to sell it. Okay. This is fascinating because notice that thought of I can't get rid of it. I could make money on that. And yet, you are not taking the time to make the money, so you're in limbo between those two thoughts. So, ye olde phrase, shoulda got off the pot, comes to mind, but I say that with a lightness and fondness in my tone because I know what that's like. My basement used to be filled with stuff that was like, ooh, you know what, that's too good to throw. I might make some money off of that. That might be worth something someday. I've been there. But I started saying, okay, it's not worth anything if it just sits here. And it's also getting possibly devalued. It's not increasing in value. It may be losing value because nobody's interested in it anymore. So Char Heels, get curious then. Where are you spending your time where your time is filled up with other stuff that you can't spend that amount of time selling the stuff? Just get curious about how you're maybe possibly cluttering up your schedule. Okay? Just an idea. Okay. Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, I use plastic packaging bags from Amazon for room garbage bags. There we go. I bought plant-based ones. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. You know what, Carla, you're so good. She says, I have found when I make that statement, most everyone else feels that way too. Yes. And while we must think about being green, don't get me wrong. I declutter and I recycle like nobody's business. But what I will say to you too is, if you keep all this stuff in your house because you're afraid to throw it away, you will die surrounded by trash, and then somebody else is going to put it all in a dumpster and put it into the earth. It's just a matter of time. Okay? Yeah. Now here's a lesson learned. Mars is saying to Char Heels, kind of that, I've saved things and I want to sell them, but I'm not. So Mars is saying, I did that too. Then my house flooded and all was lost. So now I have a time limit. Okay? So notice how long it's been since you said you were going to do something and you still haven't done it yet. Okay? Notice that. I have a list. I have lists all over the place. I love my lists. They are kind of my external hard drives of things I want to do. Here's my list. Let me look at my list right here. I'll tell you what it says on it. I've got a random list of stuff that comes to mind that I just write it down on digitally so I have it remembered. I have a list that's called Make This Fun Stuff Happen. I have a list of things to buy or rent, list of books to read, list of travel, money ideas, lists of clothing I want to buy. You know? So notice that. Now, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I am based on the East Coast of the United States, and I coach people from all around the place, and maybe even Colombia, Margarita. Hola. I show up for TikTok Lives regularly scheduled. We're about halfway through this one. There's another half hour left of this one, and then I hop off and I do some decluttering and I do some coaching and all sorts of stuff that I have planned for my day. So take a look at your clock. Do you have a half hour here where you're just kind of lovingly farting around and not doing anything? I can hang out with you. We can, you're not alone. And you could do some decluttering if you wanted. Now, I like to talk about clutter in surface, stored, and sentimental. And so you could, while we're here, go into any room of your house. Pick a room, any room. Pick a card, any card. Okay? What I'm going to do is ignore the people who are just wanting to chat because I'm not a chatter. I'm a get stuff doner. Okay? Yeah, there we go. Beth hangs out in Alabama for 1 hour each week. I love it. I love it. Garrett, nice to see you as well. Surface clutter. The clutter of everyday living. That's a really nice place to start. Okay? That is a very nice place to start, is when you are just getting started decluttering. Especially if you're here and you are wanting to just listen to me and let me keep you company, because you mostly know where the stuff on your surfaces goes. Okay? So I offer this. Make use of this time. Don't just be an active participant in your life. Don't just let things wash over you. There's time for that. And if you don't want to, also, I can't force you to do that. But I love it when I see people making good use of the time we're here together. It's like, it's like you're listening to a podcast and you can get something done. Okay? So pick a room, maybe the smallest room in the house. Go into the bathroom, wipe off the mirror, start from the top down, do some dusting, put some stuff away. Maybe one of the things you do instead was you categorize your paper, your mail. You make piles of like items, and use this time to benefit yourself. Okay? So very cool. Judy, I love the fact that you're looking in a store, but just enjoying the looking. You've taught me that I don't need more. I do the same thing. I always, though, I never get in that denial of I can't have it or I shouldn't have it. One thing I think is fun, Judy, and you might want to try this with yourself, is saying, and I did a TikTok video about this maybe last year or the year before, walking around the King of Prussia Mall because I was just warming up and trying to get my steps in, saying to myself, I could buy anything here that I really, really, really want. If I really, really, really want it, then I could consider buying it. But it has to be a really, really, really want type thing. Anything less than 3 reallys, no. So I allow myself the opportunity, but I also just enjoy the looking. So I like that because I don't want to go in saying I can't afford it, that's too expensive. Notice the money mindset in that. I like saying I could buy anything I want here if I wanted, if I really, really, really wanted. But if I don't, that's okay. I can just enjoy looking. Okay? Okay, I love that. So Garrett says, making progress one step at a time since I found you. You're lucky I don't know more words to the one step at a time. No, one day at a time. This is it. Straight ahead and rest assured. You can't be sure at all. No wonder I don't remember the Pythagorean theorem, because I remember all the soundtracks to all the 70s sitcoms, okay? So Garrett is making press one step at a time since I found you. Awesome, Garrett, I'm glad you found me, and I am glad you're making progress. Yay, good stuff. Robin said, my kids were here and were in awe. They said, thank you, because now they know what I have. Yeah. Look at how you showing up to declutter your life and your home has, what I like to say, a positive ripple effect. Now your kids are saying, oh my God, thank you. Now I know what you have. Now, to get an idea of what you could do in 30 minutes, German Maid says, in 30 minutes, I folded laundry, I put a load in, I cleaned the kitchen, I vacuumed the house, and I scooped litter. How does that feel? That feels good, huh? Yeah, it feels good. Yep. Activity needs purpose and focus to do it. Yeah, purpose. Why am I going to do this? What's in it for me? You know what's in it for me decluttering? Easiness, ease, making things simple, looking delightful, not tripping on shit when I'm walking around the house. Yeah, What's in it for me? A house that looks good to me. What's in it for me? A house that functions easily for me. And you know what also those two things give me? Is a house and a home that I feel good when I walk around and look at stuff. And when I look at stuff, it, what do I want to say? Things aren't yelling at me. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. No, no, no. Everything's pretty quiet in my house, you know? There we go. German Bean is now eating lunch, my reward of a sandwich. Yay. And Robin, Carla is giving you a yes, yes, yes. I love it. Yes. And Laura says, a big victory yesterday. We love victories. Recycled a whole bin of binders from college. Dang, I used to know stuff. You know what? You still know stuff, but you know the stuff that's important now, and you don't need the binders. I love it. Carla says, please do it so you won't fall over and slip on it. It has hurt you physically, too. Carla knows what she's talking about. She is beating herself up something awesome, or awful, rather, doing the decluttering. So take care of yourself. Now, sometimes it's going to happen. I know when I've been decluttering, I sometimes go to shave my legs, and it looks like I got kicked because I was moving stuff. Sometimes you don't know, but please, everybody, take care of your physical health and mental health first before starting any of these things, okay? So, decluttering is decision making. This is a life skill. We've got surface clutter, we've got stored clutter, we've got sentimental clutter. We've got thoughts in your head that give you feelings in your heart, and then you do something with your hands. You either hang on to something or you can release it. So notice these things you can play with. Now, I say play. I never say tackle your clutter. I am not a linebacker, though if I keep on gaining weight like this, I might be. I like to play with my toys. I like to go on treasure hunts. I like to play matchy-matchy. I like to make things engaging and fun. Maybe that's the ADHD in me. Making things fun and not something you dread. Okay? So Barefoot Eclectic, saying, I need to do a big clean and declutter so I can get holiday decor out of the attic. Okay, so notice that. You need to make room for holiday decor, so you need to do a big clean and declutter. Barefoot Eclectic. So I ask you this, encouragingly, because that's how I am. I'm an encourager, not a discourager. I'm an encourager. Oh, you can't do that? Yes, you can. Give it a shot. So, Barefoot Eclectic. What is something you could do to start your big clean and declutter right now at 12:38 Eastern Time? I always suggest starting with the easy stuff, especially during my TikTok lives. Maybe you start to throw away some trash. You put some dishes away. You do kind of that surfacey type thing, you know? So notice that. What can I do now with the time and energy I have to get to that destination I want? That is really it. You know, that is really it. Made a smoothie. All right, you got gas in your tank. You've got energy. Made a smoothie, and I'm cleaning the kitchen first. Awesome. Great start. The other thing, too, is I highly recommend. Now, it may be hard. I will be honest with you. At least the way I'm wired. It may be hard for you to make a list while I'm kind of chatting with you. So I offer this. After I sign off at 20 minutes, 12:59, sit with yourself quietly. Grab a piece of paper, a notebook, and just write down and make a list. Even if you know it up here, I know it's no, write it down anyway. Notice the distance you get, a different perspective on what you want to do. It was really interesting. I think it was Oceanana, it might have been you, and we were talking about all the things you had to do, and when you made a list, it was just 7. Now, there were probably some subsets underneath there, but notice, I have so much to do, and yet when you go to write it down, you may be surprised to realize it's not as much as it feels like when you keep it up here, okay? So I suggest to everybody, and my clients will attest, the power of getting your thoughts out of your head and down onto paper makes things easier for you. Think about it like when you go to the grocery store, the difference in how it feels going to the grocery store with a list in your hand of what you want versus the list in your head of what you want. I'm going to bet that it's a heck of a lot easier. The whole journey is easier when you know you have that list in your hand versus just the list in your head. Okay? So notice that in the real world and apply that to your decluttering. And I will offer this because I've heard it all. Well, at least a wicked lot of it. Okay? There we go. Garrett is using a to-do app where I can check off things. You rock. That's like the digital version of making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. You know? There we go. Oceanana is taking care of herself. She ate lunch during the first half and now in kitchen working on the surface clutter. I love that. Look at what you did is you didn't give up, Oceanana. You worked on your kitchen yesterday, and the neat thing is, think about it like a road trip. You were here yesterday in your kitchen. You did something, trying to get the angle right, so that when you started today, you didn't start back from square one. You started ahead of the game. And then when you stop in the kitchen today, your car is going to be parked right here. And if you show up tomorrow and do a little bit more in the kitchen, you're going to get further and further, and so on and so on. So I love it. Yeah. No. Oh, okay, teacher. Oh, goodness. I decluttered my computer and it crashed. Ugh. I am slowly getting things back on it. Yeah, sometimes digitally, that's why I love hanging out in the physical clutter world. Digital is a slightly different thing, you know? So, yep. And Granny Annie says a cluttered environment and a cluttered mind. Yeah, sometimes. And sometimes it's good. Everybody's got their level that they can easily feel good and think at. Sometimes, I mean, I've heard it in my family all our lives. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff here I can't think. I used to have to clean my dorm room, straighten it out, get it all tidy before I could settle down and focus on writing a paper. Yeah, Wendy M., I love this. Checking off items helps me see progress that I may not realize. Yes, your brain will forget all the good stuff you're doing. Okay, not all of it. It will forget like 75% of the stuff. If you write it down, you will remember all the good little things you've done. Anybody? Bueller? This is what I do every single day. I've been doing it for 5 years now. I've got the other 2 books over there. I have gotten into the good, helpful habit of putting the date and then what did I do today that my was good in my life. And I wrote it down so I don't forget. If you asked me what I did on Saturday, August 10th of 2024, what good stuff happened to you then? I'd be like, I have no freaking clue. Nope. I wrote it down. Let's see what I did. Ooh, I went to Dansko on sale and I got new travel sneakers. Oh, that's when I got those? Yep. I uploaded a Friday TikTok live to YouTube. I sent an email to the list and I did a TikTok live from the patio. It helps me feel good to read what I did good. Checking off the things I did and then adding them to the good book. I highly recommend you try it. It's wicked good. Now, Mary Lewis says, I stopped inviting my aunt since she told me that my house looks like a museum. You know, maybe she meant it as a compliment. Maybe she didn't. Notice the tone. Yeah. So notice how other people have reactions to your home. I don't care about them. I care about you. How do you feel in your home? You live there. You spend all your time there. You should feel good about your home. I can think of many museums that I'd like, damn, I'd like my house to look like that. But your aunt may be wired differently. Maybe it makes her feel uncomfortable when everything's all museum-y because she is cluttered. You know? It doesn't matter. Oops, somebody just sent me a thingy. I don't know how to work that, but thank you. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, lit up in my thing. You know what? I love that. There we go. Chris says, since watching you, I've been steadily decluttering and it's changed my life. Thank you. You're welcome. And thank yourself, Chris. Give yourself a pat on the back. you are doing good stuff. You, all of you who are doing it, you are doing the things. I just show up to encourage you. I don't get into your kitchen. You know what I mean? I don't get into the kitchen with you. And I was thinking, here we go. Ellen is saying, what would you do with Pyrex bowls whose lids are cracked? What would I do? I would go online and see if I could find replacement lids. Yeah, that's what I would do. This is really fun. Speaking of the kitchen, Carla and Oceanana are working together in their kitchens. I love it. I'm working in the kitchen too. I will meet you in spirit there today. Yes, knowing you're not alone doing this is really fun. I'm doing some decluttering parties this month. Per the suggestion of a number of my people on the mailing list, I will be charging a drop-in fee, and then half of that's going to go to a good cause. If you're interested in that, sign up for my mailing list. I will admit to the people on my list who are like, when is she just going to get that going? It's a lot more behind the scenes than I realized to get things set up for the first time, but I'm continuing to work on it. Okay? So, yeah. All right. Wonder if we can order replacements for the company. Yeah, Google it. You know, Google it. Google it. Google LY. There we go. Kimberly says, just got rid of extra Christmas decorations. Thanks for all your tips. Glad to help. Yeah. Okay. People are talking about the glass lids. You can get those. You know, there's so many things you can do. They make good pet bowls if you have a pet. You know, you can keep it and just use foil. There's so many things you can do. Okie Teacher says, I watched Buy Now last night on Netflix. I never want to buy another thing. I can imagine. I think it's probably like the, what was that, the Super Size Me guy about fast food back in the day? You know? Yeah. So, I never want to buy another thing again. Here's the thing. You may not want to, but you may have to. Unless you are growing the cotton and weaving the fabric and sewing your own clothes, you may have to buy some clothes. You aren't growing the vegetables and cooking the vegetables and planting the vegetables and slaughtering the animals. You're probably going to have to buy some food. What you can do is really slow down your consumption of stuff. You can buy fewer things of better quality. You can use what you have already and not necessarily replace things just because they're out of fashion. There are things you can do even in a capitalist society to slow the roll and feel better about it. Hey, Christine, my daily wins journal keeps me going. I love it. And you love my coaching tools. Very cool. Yeah. So, time. Time is something we don't get back. I say this because I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 12:48. I've already been helping you, hopefully, and keeping you company for the last 48 minutes. In 12 minutes, I'm going to sign off and hop in and doing some other things. Now, I love this. It's a time check, and Laura Gibbon Voorhees said at the top of the hour, I'm going to get my bins ready, and she says now, I got my bins of German gem shop stuff ready. She made good use of this time here. I hope you hanging out here, you made good use of it, even if what you did was just listen to me. I hope what I'm saying is helping you. I hope it is connecting to that part of you that is feeling like you can't do it, or you don't want to do it, or you don't know how, or any of those things that are keeping you stuck. That my words and my tone and my choice of words and quieting down the backseat drivers and being encouraging has helped you. But I could only do it so much, you know? One of the things that I like to remind myself of as a kick in the pants is, at my age, I have fewer years ahead of me than I do behind me, and I don't know when those years are going to end. So that gets me moving. When I don't know how many days I have left, I want to make sure that every day counts. And it feels good to work towards something you want, even if you're not there yet. Being on the journey, showing up for yourself, because here's how decluttering helps you with that. Decluttering is you deciding what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. And think about it like a math problem. You have 100 items in your home. You make a decision, I don't want 50 of those, and you get rid of what you don't want. You know what you're left with? is just stuff you want. You've gotten rid of what you don't want. You're not bringing anything in that you don't want, and all you have left is what you do want. The stuff, the people, the opportunities, all of that stuff. Do it for yourself. There we go. Mars I've motivated you to run out to the Goodwill drop-off after this live. Rock. You decided you didn't want this stuff, and you're taking the next steps to get it out of your place. Now, Char Heels, how do you decide what to keep of parents' belongings? Again, it's decision making. And this is funny. Notice where my hand went when I said decision making. It's kind of up here, but a lot is right here. So, you decide what you want, if any, of their stuff. Okay? Carla knows what I'm talking about. I know my mom, even though she's alive, I don't want much of her stuff. And the stuff that I want for that person, let me be very clear. This may sound, whatever. I have started to ask my mother for the things I want from her before she dies, so she can see how we are enjoying using them. So think about that. Now, everybody's mileage may vary with their comfortability, their comfort of having a sincere, heartfelt, kind of straightforward conversation with your parent. It was scary for me at the first time, but getting confidence in asking for what I want, I'm getting used to not being afraid of the word no. No, I don't want to give it to you now, but I'll give it to you when I'm dead. Okay, cool, I'll get it from you when you're dead. No big deal. Okay? How do you decide what to keep of your parents' belongings? Notice how they make you feel. Do you want those things? Are you saving it because you love it? Or are you saving it out of obligation and fear and not practicing making decisions? All of it's cool. No, there's no judgment here, but just noticing where you are with it. I like to say, if you pretending, again, I'm not big about pretending. I love to make things fun and play a game. Play a game when you're at your parents' house the next time that it is not their house, but you are at a, what do you call that? Like an estate sale. It's not your parents' house, and you're going in there, and you look at this not with the eyes of the child or whatever. You don't know these people, and all you're doing is looking at their stuff without the stories attached to them. Do this in your own house too. You walk in, pretend it's somebody else's house, and you don't know any of the stories behind the stuff. You quiet down the stories and just look at the things. In your parents' house, is there anything that you really would want in your home? Look around. Just look around and see if anything fits the bill. It is totally okay if the answer is no, I don't want any of their stuff. That is totally acceptable. And there's a big difference between I want all of it, I want none of it. There is a rainbow of options in between those two. You need to figure out what feels right for you and for your home and for your present and for your future and what you're going to leave clutter and otherwise for the next generation down below you. Notice that. And yes, Mars, I love the fact that you're going to the Goodwill and then writing it in your book. Rock on. Rock on. You know? So what do we got here? All right. So Garrett is saying, have to go join a work meeting. I know the feeling. I got like 6 minutes, but we'll declutter while I listen. I love it. I love it. Because sometimes you can do that. You can be listening to something and doing, as I like to say, a putter and declutter. There are some mindless decluttering tasks that you can totally do. But the real decluttering I think that people struggle with a lot isn't the surface. It's the stuff that's below the surface. It's the, I am afraid to make a decision on this thing. You know? Now, Wendy M. says, if it could serve a purpose for someone else, I would rather donate it than keep it just because. Right. You know? So, yes, so much I don't want now at 59. Kara, I'm with you. I'm right behind you. Right behind you. On the Mass Pike. All right? I'm in Worcester and you're in Framingham, but I'm right behind you because I'm going to be 59 next year. And I love that we are going into our 60s with less than ever before. Because for a while, for decades there, it was fun to accumulate. And now it's kind of fun to divest ourselves from these things and simplify and not get bogged down with all that stuff. Isn't it a fun thing? Barefoot Eclectics, dishes are done. No, you did the dishes. Dishes are done because you did them. Take credit for your actions. I did the dishes. I cleaned the dishes. Look at what I did to make my life better. Take pride in that, okay? Brookie, baby, I cleaned out, I'm going to add I cleaned out my closet. Got rid of a whole bag, trash bags full of donations. Why did I wait so long? I don't know. Get curious about that. Don't judge yourself. Why did I wait so long? How about, why did I wait so long? Maybe you just weren't ready yet. Maybe it didn't feel right. Maybe it felt like a struggle and you didn't want to do it while it felt like a struggle. You waited till the struggle simmered down until you felt ready to donate. And when you feel ready to do things, you start. And when you start, you make things happen. Okay? Yeah. Now, lovely Jamie Lee, I'm going to offer you a thing because I only have 4 minutes here, but I want to help you out with that. So Jamie Lee is saying, hardest thing is my kids' art and schoolwork. So we talked a lot about that yesterday on my TikTok Live. The good news is that my TikTok Lives are recorded and I upload them to YouTube. I'm pointing to my other computer screen. If you're on the mailing list, you have access to watch yesterday's and get some tips about kids' artwork and things. If you're not on the mailing list, you can get on the mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com, and then scroll to the bottom of the front page or click the join. It's up to you. Put your email address in there. Boom. You will get a welcome email. In that welcome email is a link to a page that gives you a link to the secret folder that has the December 2024 YouTube's already uploaded, okay? So you have something you can do to help answer that, you know? There we go. Kayla Berry says, I have a chest with stuff from ancestors I've never met. I plan to write the stories for my son. Awesome. Awesome. He loves history and knowing how his family contributed is what he wants. How about, I just offer this to you, why not get your son involved in that? Involve them in it. Don't just do it for them and hand it to them. Have him participate in that. That sounds like fun. Therapy Gal Sue, my God, 58 minutes later, desk decluttered and 2 bags of shredded files this hour. Woot! Awesome. Good. Okay, Mars. Mars needs guitars. I noticed that. All right. There we go. Barefoot Eclectic is saying you can laminate holiday kids' artwork and store the holiday decor. I still have put up my sounds are. Okay? On it. Good. I love that idea. Kayla Bear. So excited. So excited for everybody. All right. So I'm going to sign off right now because I have some coaching to do. And I'm just looking at the time, and it feels like a really good time. But let me leave you with some action items you can do. First of all, if you like what you heard today and you want to you want to check out my TikTok page, it's Destination Decluttered. Just follow that or whatever the little check marky thing is, I forget. The next step would be hopping on my free mailing list, DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Hop on the mailing list. So many cool things happen just for the people on the mailing list. And then the creme de la creme is the people who I work with one-on-one for coaching. If you are interested in me being your one-on-one coach, the best place to go to start that journey is my website, DestinationDecluttered.com, Johnny. And read about it, sign up for a consultation. And if there are no consultations available, there's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Get on the mailing list and you get first dibs, okay? Ocean Anna, I'm so glad you had a good lunch, and I am so glad you are working in your kitchen along with Carla, okay? You all rock. You can do this. I know you can. I have so much faith in you that I'm sending it your way, okay? And we are all here to support each other and do this, all right? I will see you the next time I do a TikTok Live. I don't know when that is. I got to look at the schedule, okay? If you want to know when it is, you know how to look at the schedule. Sign up for the mailing list, all right? Bye.